Welcome to a gentle journey celebrating love across cultures and continents. Tonight, we'll explore the beautiful wedding traditions that unite hearts around the world. As we travel together through 45 unique wedding celebrations, allow the warmth of these timeless traditions to embrace you like a soft blanket. Close your eyes and let love's universal language guide you into the sweetest of dreams. Native American blanket ceremony, various tribes. The Native American blanket ceremony represents one of the most spiritually profound and visually beautiful wedding traditions among indigenous peoples of North America, where the symbolic wrapping of the couple in a single blanket demonstrates their transition from two separate individuals to one unified entity, blessed by ancestral spirits and natural forces. This sacred ritual varies among different tribes, but typically involves the couple standing together while tribal elders or spiritual leaders drape a specially woven blanket around both their shoulders, often made from materials significant to their specific tribal heritage, such as buffalo hide, wool, or cotton, decorated with meaningful patterns and colors. The blanket itself holds deep spiritual significance, representing not only the physical warmth and protection the couple will provide each other, but also their shelter from life's storms and their shared responsibility to care for future generations. Many tribes incorporate specific colors and patterns that tell the story of their people, with red representing strength and valor, blue symbolizing wisdom and devotion, yellow signifying happiness and prosperity, and white representing purity and spiritual connection to the Creator. The ceremony often begins with smudging rituals using sage, sweetgrass, or cedar to purify the space and participants, followed by prayers offered in native languages that invoke the blessing of the Great Spirit, four directions, and ancestral wisdom upon the union. Some tribal traditions include the exchange of gifts between families, the sharing of sacred foods like corn, beans, and squash, the three sisters, and the lighting of a sacred fire that represents the eternal flame of their love and connection to their people. The blanket ceremony emphasizes the interconnectedness of all life, the importance of community support for the marriage, and the couple's responsibility to honor their tribal traditions while building their own family legacy within the greater circle of their people's continuing story. Celtic pagan handfasting, Celtic traditions. Celtic pagan handfasting ceremonies honor the ancient spiritual traditions of the Celtic peoples, connecting couples to the natural cycles, elemental forces, and mystical wisdom that guided their ancestors in creating sacred unions, blessed by nature spirits and Celtic deities. These outdoor ceremonies typically take place in natural settings that hold special spiritual significance: stone circles, sacred groves, beside flowing streams, or on hills that catch the first light of dawn, where the couple can feel their connection to the earth and sky that witness their vows. The ceremony often begins at sunrise or sunset to harness the powerful transitional energies of these liminal times, with the couple and their guests forming a circle that represents the eternal nature of love and the protective boundary between the sacred ceremony space and the mundane world beyond. A Celtic priest or priestess, sometimes called a druid, conducts the ritual while invoking the four elements: earth for stability and growth, air for communication and new beginnings, fire for passion and transformation, and water for purification and emotional depth, along with the blessing of Celtic deities like Brigid, goddess of love and creativity, or Hannunos, god of fertility and nature. The handfasting itself involves binding the couple's hands with cords of different colours, representing various aspects of their relationship: red for passion and courage, green for fertility and new growth, blue for tranquility and loyalty, yellow for joy and intelligence, and white for purity and spiritual connection. As their hands are bound, the couple recites ancient Celtic vows or creates their own promises that honour both their individual paths and their commitment to walk together through all the seasons of their lives. The ceremony often includes the sharing of mead or ale from a single cup, the exchange of rings or other meaningful tokens, and the lighting of a unity candle using flames from separate fires that represent their individual lives joining into one. Traditional Celtic music, dancing and storytelling continue the celebration, creating a joyful community gathering that honours both the couple's love and their connection to the ancient wisdom and spiritual practices of their Celtic heritage. Tibetan Buddhist Wedding, Tibet. Tibetan Buddhist wedding ceremonies represent profound spiritual journeys that connect couples to the teaching of the Buddha while honouring the unique cultural heritage and religious practices of the Tibetan people in their high-altitude homeland surrounded by sacred mountains and pristine landscapes. These ceremonies typically take place in Buddhist monasteries or family homes, decorated with prayer flags, butter lamps, and sacred symbols that create an atmosphere of spiritual reverence, while invoking the blessings of Buddhist deities, bodhisattvas, and enlightened masters who guide practitioners on the path to liberation from suffering. The bride traditionally wears an exquisite chuba, traditional Tibetan robe, made of silk or brocade with intricate patterns and colours that reflect her regional origin and family status, often accompanied by elaborate jewellery including coral, turquoise, and amber stones that hold spiritual significance in Tibetan culture and are believed to provide protection and good fortune. The groom appears in formal traditional attire, including a chuba, traditional hat, and ceremonial accessories that demonstrate his respect for Tibetan customs and Buddhist values, while symbolizing his readiness to assume the responsibilities of married life within the framework of Buddhist ethical conduct and compassion for all beings. The ceremony includes the burning of juniper incense and the offering of katak, white ceremonial scarves, to the couple by family members and guests, creating clouds of fragrant smoke that carry prayers and blessings to the heavens while demonstrating the community's support for the union. Buddhist lamas or monks conduct portions of the ceremony, chanting sacred mantras and prayers that invoke the protection of Buddhist deities while blessing the couple's commitment to practice compassion, wisdom, and right conduct in their married life together. The celebration often includes traditional Tibetan music and dance, the sharing of tsampa, roasted barley flour, and butter tea, and the presentation of gifts that help the couple establish their household while maintaining their connection to Buddhist teachings and Tibetan cultural traditions that have sustained their people through centuries of challenge and change. Orthodox Christian crowning, Eastern Orthodox. The Eastern Orthodox wedding ceremony represents one of Christianity's most ancient and symbolically rich matrimonial traditions, featuring the beautiful and profound crowning ritual that transforms the bride and groom into spiritual royalty while connecting them to centuries of Orthodox faith, Byzantine heritage, and divine blessing. The ceremony begins with the service of betrothal, where the priest blesses the engagement rings 3 times and places them on the couple's fingers, while prayers invoke God's blessing upon their commitment, with the rings often exchanged 3 times between the couple to symbolize the Trinity's role in their union. The heart of the Orthodox ceremony centers on the crowning ritual, where elaborate Stephana crowns, often made of precious metals, flowers, or even simple branches depending on regional traditions, are placed upon the couple's heads while the priest chants, "The servant of God is crowned unto the servant of God in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit." These crowns, connected by a ribbon or chain, represent the glory and honour that God bestows upon the couple as they become king and queen of their own domestic church, while also symbolising the martyr's crown they may need to bear for each other throughout their marriage. Following the crowning, the couple participates in the Dance of Isaiah, a processional 3 times around the altar led by the priest while holding lit candles, and joined by their sponsors, Kumbari, symbolising their first steps as a married couple in the path of righteousness, and their commitment to let their love be a light in the darkness of the world. The ceremony includes the sharing of wine from a common cup, representing their willingness to share both the joys and sorrows of life, and the reading of scripture emphasizing marriage as reflection of Christ's love for the church. Orthodox wedding ceremonies often conclude with the blessing of the kufita, sugar-coated almonds, and the reception of the antidoro, blessed bread, creating a celebration that seamlessly blends spiritual significance with cultural tradition and family joy. Peruvian Andean Mountain Ceremony, Peru. High in the spectacular Andes Mountains of Peru, indigenous wedding ceremonies honour Pachamama, Mother Earth, and the sacred Apus, mountain spirits, through ancient rituals that connect couples to the natural world and ancestral wisdom that has guided Quechua and other indigenous peoples for countless generations. These deeply spiritual ceremonies typically take place at dawn, on mountain peaks or sacred sites like Machu Picchu, where the thin air and breathtaking vistas create a natural cathedral that emphasizes the couple's connection to the divine cosmos and their responsibility to live in harmony with nature. The ceremony begins with the Kintu ritual, where the couple and their families select perfect coca leaves and arrange them in groups of 3 while making silent prayers and offerings to the mountain spirits, seeking their blessing and protection for the marriage, while demonstrating respect for indigenous traditions that predate Spanish colonization by thousands of years. An Andean priest or shaman, known as an altomisayok, conducts the ceremony using a mixture of Quechua language and Spanish, burning sacred offerings called despachos that contain coca leaves, llama fat, seashells, gold leaf, and other meaningful items that represent different aspects of life and prosperity. The couple exchanges vows while facing the 4 cardinal directions, acknowledging their connection to all of creation and their commitment to maintain balance and reciprocity in their relationship with each other and the natural world around them. Traditional Andean music played on panpipes, drums, and charangos accompanies the ceremony, while guests wear colourful traditional clothing that reflects the vibrant textiles and patterns characteristic of different Andean communities. The celebration often includes the sharing of chicha, corn beer, and other traditional foods, dancing that can continue for days, and the blessing of llamas or alpacas that represent prosperity and good fortune for the couple's future together in the challenging but beautiful mountain environment. Scottish Highland handfasting, Scotland. Highland handfasting represents one of Scotland's most romantic and enduring wedding traditions, rooted in ancient Celtic customs where couples would literally have their hands fasted or bound together with cords or tartan cloth as a symbol of their eternal union. This beautiful ceremony traditionally took place outdoors in Scotland's dramatic Highland landscape, often beside lochs, on mountain tops, or in ancient stone circles that held special spiritual significance for Celtic peoples. The ritual begins with the couple standing face to face, while a Celtic celebrant, often dressed in traditional Highland attire, explains the significance of the binding ceremony, The couple's right hands are placed together so their pulse points touch, symbolizing the joining of their life forces, after which colourful cords, ribbons or clan tartans are wrapped around their joined hands in intricate patterns. Each cord colour holds specific meaning: red for passion and love, blue for tranquility and patience, green for fertility and new beginnings, and gold for prosperity and wisdom. As the cords are bound, the celebrant recites ancient Gaelic blessings and invokes the protection of Celtic deities and natural spirits. The phrase "tying the knot" originates from this very ceremony, as the final knot symbolises the permanence of the couple's commitment. Following the binding, the couple may jump over a besom, broom together, another Celtic tradition representing their leap into a new life together. Traditional highland handfasting ceremonies often include the exchange of clan rings, the sharing of oat cakes and whiskey, and the lighting of a unity candle using flames from their respective family hearths. The bound cords are typically kept by the couple as a sacred reminder of their wedding day and the promises they made to each other beneath the highland sky. Thai water blessing ceremony, Rodnam Sang, Thailand. The Thai water blessing ceremony, known as Rodnam Sang, represents the spiritual heart of traditional Thai weddings, where the sacred act of pouring blessed water over the couple's hands served to purify their union and invoke the protection of Buddhist spirits and ancestors. This beautiful ritual typically takes place after the couple has completed their formal vows, with the bride and groom kneeling side by side on ornate cushions while wearing traditional Thai wedding attire. The bride in a stunning Thai silk dress with intricate gold embroidery, and the groom in a matching silk shirt or traditional Thai costume. The ceremony begins with the most respected elders and family members, followed by other relatives and honoured guests, approaching the couple with small conch shells or ornate silver vessels filled with blessed water that has been prepared by Buddhist monks and infused with flower petals and sacred herbs. As each person pours the water over the couple's joined hands, they offer personal blessings and wishes for happiness, prosperity, health, and fertility, creating an intimate moment of connection between the couple and their loved ones. The flowing water symbolises the continuous flow of good fortune into the couple's new life together, while also representing the washing away of past troubles and the purification necessary for beginning their married journey. Thai wedding ceremonies often include additional elements such as the Say Sin, white thread ceremony, where consecrated cotton threads are tied around the couple's wrists by elders while monks chant protective prayers, and the Khan Mayak procession, where the groom's family presents elaborate gifts to the bride's family in ornate golden bowls. The celebration typically includes traditional Thai music, classical dance performances, and a feast featuring regional specialties, creating a joyful atmosphere that honours both Buddhist traditions and Thai cultural heritage. Chinese tea ceremony, Cha Dao, China. The Chinese tea ceremony stands as one of the most profound expressions of filial piety and family honour in traditional Chinese weddings, serving as a formal introduction between the bride and groom and their respective families, while demonstrating deep respect for elders and ancestral traditions. This ancient ritual, known as Cha Dao, typically takes place on the morning of the wedding day in the bride's family home, followed by a similar ceremony at the groom's residence. The ceremony begins with the couple kneeling before the bride's parents and grandparents, with the bride serving tea to her family members, according to strict hierarchical order, starting with the most senior relatives. Each family member receives the tea with both hands as a sign of respect, offering blessings and gifts to the couple in return, often including jewellery, red envelopes containing money, or family heirlooms. The tea itself must be prepared according to traditional methods using the finest leaves, typically oolong or pu'er, served in special ceremonial cups that have often been passed down through generations. The ritual symbolizes the bride's final acts of service to her birth family before joining her husband's household, while also representing the sweet beginning of her new life, as the tea's bitterness mellows into sweetness. Modern Chinese weddings often incorporate both traditional tea ceremonies and Western-style receptions, with the tea ceremony serving as a culturally significant bridge between families. The gifts received during the tea ceremony traditionally include gold jewellery, which serves both as blessing and financial security for the new couple's future. Jewish wedding traditions, Jewish culture. Jewish wedding ceremonies embody thousands of years of religious tradition and cultural continuity, centered around the sacred chuppah, a four-posted canopy that symbolizes the home the couple will build together and God's presence in their union. The ceremony begins with the signing of the ketubah, a marriage contract that outlines the groom's responsibilities to his bride and serves as one of the world's earliest examples of women's rights documentation. Under the chuppah, the couple participates in several meaningful rituals, including the exchange of rings, where the groom traditionally places a simple gold band on the bride's right index finger while reciting ancient Aramaic vows. The centerpiece of the ceremony involves the sharing of wine from a single cup, representing the joys and sorrows the couple will share throughout their marriage. The 7 blessings, Sheva Brashot, are recited over the wine, praising God for creation, humanity, marriage, and the hoped-for restoration of Jerusalem. The ceremony concludes with the dramatic breaking of a glass under the groom's foot, symbolizing the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem and serving as a reminder that even in moments of great joy, we remember times of sorrow. Following the glass breaking, guests shout, Mazel Tov, and the celebration begins. The newlyweds traditionally spend their first moments as a married couple in Yichud, a period of seclusion that provides privacy for the couple to share their first meal together as husband and wife. These traditions create a deeply spiritual and communal celebration that connects the couple to their ancestors while blessing their future together. Hindu wedding, Vivaha, India. The Hindu wedding ceremony represents one of the world's most elaborate and spiritually significant matrimonial traditions, encompassing multiple days of rituals that unite not just 2 individuals but entire families and communities. Central to the Hindu wedding is the concept of Saptapadi, or the 7 sacred steps taken around the holy fire, Agni, where the couple makes 7 promises to each other, while Agni serves as the divine witness. Each step represents a different aspect of their future life together: nourishment, strength, prosperity, happiness, progeny, seasons of life, and friendship. The ceremony begins with pre-wedding rituals, including the haldi ceremony, where turmeric paste is applied to both bride and groom for purification and blessing, followed by the intricate mendi ceremony, where elaborate henna designs are applied to the bride's hands and feet. The main ceremony features the Barat, where the groom arrives on a decorated horse accompanied by family and friends. During the sacred Kanyadan ritual, the bride's father formally gives his daughter's hand to the groom, symbolizing the transfer of responsibility. The bride and groom exchange garlands, vamala, as a symbol of acceptance, and their hands are bound together with sacred threads during the Hastamilap ceremony. The fire ceremony culminates with the Mangal Sutra, a sacred necklace placed around the bride's neck, and the application of sindoor, vermilion, to her hair parting, both symbols of her married status that she will wear throughout her married life. Japanese Shinto wedding, Shinzen Shiki, Japan. The traditional Japanese Shinto wedding ceremony represents one of the world's most aesthetically refined and spiritually profound matrimonial rituals, conducted within sacred Shinto shrines under the watchful presence of kami, Shinto deities, who bless the union and ensure the couple's prosperity and happiness. The ceremony, known as Shinzen Shiki, begins with elaborate purification rituals called shubatsu, where the priest uses a sacred branch with white paper streamers, gohei, to purify the wedding party and chase away evil spirits. The bride, dressed in an exquisite white kimono called shiromuku, symbolizing purity and her willingness to be dyed in her new family's colors, wears a traditional white hood, tsunokakushi, that is said to hide her horns of jealousy and demonstrate her gentle obedience. The groom wears formal black kimono with family crests, Monsuki Hauri Hakama, that display his family heritage and social status. The centerpiece of the ceremony is the Sansan Kudo, a ritual sack drinking ceremony where the couple shares 3 cups of rice wine in 3 sips each, symbolizing their union and the joining of their families. The priest chants ancient Norito prayers in classical Japanese, invoking blessings from the kami and asking for the couple's happiness, fertility, and protection from misfortune. The couple then presents sacred sakeki tree branches to the altar as offerings, symbolizing their respect for nature and the divine. The ceremony concludes with the exchange of wedding rings, a modern addition to the traditional ritual, and the sharing of sak with both families to celebrate the new kinship bonds that have been formed through marriage. Greek Orthodox wedding, Stephana ceremony, Greece. The Greek Orthodox wedding ceremony represents one of Christianity's most symbolically rich and visually stunning matrimonial traditions, featuring the beautiful Stephana crowns that transform the bride and groom into royalty for their special day, while connecting them to centuries of Byzantine heritage and Orthodox faith. The ceremony begins with the betrothal service, where the priest blesses the wedding rings 3 times before placing them on the couple's fingers, symbolizing their engagement and commitment to each other before God. The highlight of the ceremony involves the crowning ritual, where elaborate Stephana crowns made of flowers, precious metals, or even simple orange blossoms are placed on the couple's heads, while the priest chants, "The servant of God is crowned unto the servant of God, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit." These crowns, connected by a ribbon or chain, represent the glory and honor that God bestows upon the couple as they establish their new family kingdom. Following the crowning, the couple participates in the dance of Isaiah, also known as the ceremonial walk, where they circle the altar 3 times led by the priest while holding candles and joined by their kumbaro, sponsor, symbolizing their first steps as a married couple walking in the path of righteousness. The circular movement represents the eternal nature of their commitment, while the number 3 honors the Holy Trinity. Traditional Greek wedding ceremonies also include the sharing of wine from a common cup, representing the sharing of life's joys and sorrows, and the reading of scripture emphasizing the sacred nature of marriage. The celebration continues with traditional Greek music, the breaking of plates for good luck, and dancing that can last until dawn. Hey there! We're about halfway through our list of ceremonies, but if you happen to still be awake, we've prepared a secret wedding ceremony just for you, just for giggles. Now go to sleep. Mexican wedding traditions, las arras y el lazo, Mexico. Mexican wedding ceremonies beautifully blend indigenous pre-Columbian traditions with Spanish Catholic influences, creating vibrant celebrations that emphasize family unity, spiritual blessing, and cultural heritage through meaningful rituals like Lasaras, the 13 coins, and El Lazo, the wedding lasso ceremony. Lasaras involves the groom presenting the bride with 13 gold or silver coins, representing his promise to provide for her and their future family, while the bride's acceptance demonstrates her trust in his ability to care for their household. These coins, often blessed by the priest and passed down through generations, symbolize prosperity, good fortune, and the couple's commitment to share their worldly goods throughout their marriage. The lazo ceremony follows the exchange of vows, where a large rosary, rope, or decorative cord is draped around the couple's shoulders in a figure-8 pattern, symbolizing their eternal bond and the infinite nature of their love. The lazo remains in place throughout the remainder of the ceremony, visually representing their unity as they receive final blessings and participate in the nuptial mass. Mexican weddings often feature additional traditions, including the presentation of flowers to the Virgin Mary, asking for her blessing and protection over the marriage, and the selection of padrinos and madrinas, godparents, who play crucial roles in supporting the couple both during the ceremony and throughout their married life. The celebration typically includes mariachi music, traditional folk dancing, and a feast featuring regional specialties like mole, tamales, and tres leches cake. The reception often culminates with the vibranilla, a lively dance where guests pin money to the bride's dress to help the newlyweds start their life together, demonstrating the community's investment in their success and happiness. African jumping the broom, African American culture. The tradition of jumping the broom holds profound historical significance in African American weddings, serving as both a celebration of love and a powerful reminder of resilience during one of the darkest chapters in American history, when enslaved people were denied the legal right to marry. This beautiful ritual originated from West African customs, where brooms held spiritual significance for cleansing and new beginnings, and it was adapted by enslaved communities in America as a way to solemnize their unions despite legal prohibitions. During the ceremony, a decorated broom is placed on the ground before the couple, often adorned with flowers, ribbons and colors representing different aspects of marriage: white for purity, blue for love, yellow for prosperity, and sometimes family heirlooms or meaningful objects from both families. The couple joins hands and together jumps over the broom while family and friends cheer and celebrate, symbolizing their leap into a new life together and their commitment to sweep away past troubles while embracing their shared future. The height of the jump is sometimes said to predict who will be the head of the household, with the highest jumper taking the leadership role, though this is usually done in good humour rather than taken seriously. Modern couples often incorporate this tradition into contemporary weddings as a way to honour their ancestors and connect with their cultural heritage, regardless of their religious ceremony structure. The broom itself often becomes a family heirloom, displayed in the couple's home as a reminder of their wedding day and later passed down to future generations. Some families create their own brooms using branches from meaningful locations or incorporating elements from both families' histories, making each broom unique and deeply personal to the couple's story. Russian bread and salt ceremony, Russia. The Russian bread and salt ceremony represents one of the most ancient and meaningful welcome traditions in Slavic culture, extending heartfelt hospitality to newlyweds while invoking blessings of prosperity, health, and abundance for their future together. This time-honored ritual typically takes place immediately following the wedding ceremony, where the couple's parents or eldest family members greet them with a beautifully embroidered rushnik, traditional cloth, holding a large round loaf of bread and a small dish of salt. The bread, often a special korovi decorated with intricate braided designs, flowers, and birds symbolizing fertility and happiness, represents the staff of life and the hope that the couple will never know hunger or want. The salt, precious and preserving, symbolizes the challenges and tears that life may bring, with the understanding that sharing these difficulties will only strengthen their bond. The couple takes turns breaking off pieces of bread, dipping them in salt and feeding each other, demonstrating their willingness to share both life's sweetness and its bitterness. According to tradition, whoever takes the larger bite will be the head of the household, though this is usually done with much laughter and good-natured competition. The ceremony serves as a bridge between the formal wedding ritual and the celebration to come, creating a moment of intimacy and reflection as the couple receives the blessing and wisdom of their elders. In some regions, the bread and salt are accompanied by honey and wine, adding symbols of sweetness and joy to the ritual. The rushnik used in the ceremony often becomes a family treasure, carefully preserved and sometimes used again for the weddings of future generations, creating a tangible link between past and present. Korean payback and duck ceremony, Korea. The Korean payback ceremony represents one of the most respectful and meaningful post-wedding traditions in East Asian culture, where the newly married couple pays formal tribute to their elders while participating in charming customs involving wooden ducks that symbolize lifelong fidelity and marital harmony. Following the main wedding ceremony, the couple changes into traditional Korean hanbok garments. The bride in a colourful jeogori jacket and chima skirt, and the groom in elegant monochrome hanbok, before kneeling before the groom's parents and extended family members to offer deep bows and serve dates and chestnuts. This ritual demonstrates the couple's respect for their elders and the bride's acceptance into her new family, while the parents offer words of wisdom and blessings for the couple's future. The wooden ducks, called wedding geese historically, but now commonly represented by mandarin ducks carved from wood, play a central role in Korean wedding symbolism because these birds mate for life, representing the couple's commitment to lifelong fidelity. During the ceremony, the groom's mother throws the wooden ducks to the bride, who must catch them in her skirt while the number caught and their position when they land supposedly predict the number and gender of the couple's future children. The ducks are then displayed in the couple's home with their beaks touching to symbolize a harmonious marriage, or facing away when the couple argues, serving as a playful reminder to resolve their differences. The payback ceremony often includes the sharing of traditional foods like jujubes, dates, and chestnuts, which symbolize children and fertility, as well as the presentation of white envelopes containing money from family members to help the couple start their new life together. This intimate family gathering provides a meaningful counterpoint to the often elaborate public wedding ceremony, emphasizing the importance of family relationships and cultural continuity in Korean society. Italian confetti tradition, Italy. Italian wedding traditions center around the beautiful custom of confetti, not the paper confetti familiar to other cultures, but sugar-coated almonds that represent the bittersweet nature of marriage and serve as blessed tokens of good fortune for wedding guests. These elegant Jordan almonds, coated in hard white sugar candy shells, symbolize the bitter moments and sweet joys that couples will share throughout their marriage, with the hard shell representing the challenges that protect the sweet interior of love. Italian confetti are traditionally presented in odd numbers, most commonly 5 almonds representing health, wealth, happiness, fertility, and longevity, carefully wrapped in delicate tool bags or elegant boxes that guests receive as wedding favours. The preparation of confetti involves an elaborate process where bitter almonds are repeatedly coated with sugar syrup and polished until they achieve a smooth, lustrous finish, often taking several days to create the perfect confetti worthy of a wedding celebration. Different regions of Italy have developed their own variations, with some areas preferring silver or coloured confetti, while others maintain strict adherence to traditional white. The presentation of confetti follows specific etiquette, with the bride and groom personally offering them to each guest as a gesture of gratitude and blessing, often accompanied by small cards with romantic poetry or religious verses. Italian weddings also feature the lively tarantella dance, where guests form circles around the newlyweds while playing tambourines and singing traditional folk songs, creating an atmosphere of communal joy and celebration. The couple often leads this energetic dance, which according to legend helps ward off evil spirits and ensures a happy marriage filled with laughter and music. Modern Italian couples sometimes incorporate contemporary elements while maintaining these cherished traditions, creating weddings that honour their heritage while reflecting their personal style and preferences. German Polterabend and log sawing, Germany. German wedding traditions showcase the culture's emphasis on community involvement, practical partnership, and good fortune through unique customs like the Polterabend, breaking porcelain, and the Baumstammsägen, log sawing ceremony, that test the couple's ability to work together and overcome obstacles. The Polterabend, typically held the evening before the wedding, invites friends and neighbours to bring old porcelain dishes, plates and ceramics to smash outside the bride's home, creating a joyful cacophony believed to drive away evil spirits and bring good luck to the marriage. However, mirrors and glasses are strictly forbidden, as broken glass brings bad luck rather than fortune. The bride and groom must then work together to clean up all the broken pieces, symbolising their first challenge as a couple and demonstrating their ability to cooperate in resolving problems that may arise in their marriage. The log sawing ceremony, performed immediately after the wedding ceremony, presents the newlyweds with their first official test of married teamwork, as they use a large two-handed crosscut saw to cut through a substantial log, while wedding guests cheer them on. This tradition requires the couple to coordinate their movements perfectly, pushing and pulling in rhythm, as uneven effort will bind the saw and make the task impossible. The successfully sawed log pieces are often kept as mementos of their wedding day and their first successful collaboration as husband and wife. German weddings often feature additional traditions, including the Brutentführung, bride kidnapping, where friends steal the bride during the reception and take her to a local pub, requiring the groom to find and rescue her by paying the bill for everyone's drinks. These playful customs reflect the German appreciation for community involvement in marriage celebrations and the belief that humour and cooperation are essential ingredients for a successful marriage. Filipino unity ceremonies, cord, veil, and coins, Philippines. Filipino wedding traditions beautifully incorporate 3 symbolic unity ceremonies, the cord, veil, and coins, RA, that emphasize the spiritual, protective, and material aspects of marriage while demonstrating the deep Catholic faith and strong family values that characterize Filipino culture. The cord ceremony involves draping a special wedding cord, often made of silk or adorned with flowers, around the couple's shoulders in a figure-8 pattern while they kneel at the altar, symbolizing their infinite bond and the intertwining of their lives forever. This cord, sometimes a family heirloom passed down through generations, represents the indissoluble nature of their marriage vows and remains in place throughout the remainder of the ceremony as a visible reminder of their unity. The veil ceremony follows, where the wedding sponsors, usually married couples who serve as role models, place a white veil over the bride's head and the groom's shoulders, symbolizing the protection they will provide each other throughout their marriage and their equal partnership under God's blessing. The coins ceremony, derived from Spanish colonial influence, involves the groom presenting the bride with 13 gold or silver coins, arhe, in an ornate box or pouch, representing his promise to provide for their family, while the bride's acceptance demonstrates her trust in his commitment to their shared prosperity. These coins, often blessed by the priest, symbolize good fortune, mutual support, and the couple's dedication to managing their resources wisely together. Filipino weddings typically feature additional traditions, including the lighting of unity candles by the couple's mothers, the presentation of flowers to the Virgin Mary for her blessing, and the selection of numerous sponsors, ninong and ninang, who pledge to support the couple throughout their marriage. The celebration often includes traditional Filipino music, regional dances like the Tina Kling, and elaborate feasts featuring lechon, pancit, and other beloved Filipino dishes that bring together extended families and communities in joyful celebration. Ethiopian coffee ceremony wedding, Ethiopia. The Ethiopian coffee ceremony holds special significance in wedding celebrations, representing hospitality, community bonding, and spiritual connection, in a culture that considers coffee sacred as the birthplace of the beloved bean that now enchants the entire world. During Ethiopian weddings, the elaborate coffee ceremony serves multiple purposes, honouring guests, blessing the union, and creating a meditative space for celebration and reflection, while demonstrating the bride's skills in this essential cultural practice. The ceremony begins with the bride, dressed in traditional white cotton dress with colourful embroidered borders called habesha kemis, washing green coffee beans in front of the assembled guests, then roasting them in a pan over an open flame, while the aromatic smoke fills the air and creates an almost sacred atmosphere. As the beans roast to perfection, the bride moves the pan among the guests so everyone can enjoy the rich, intoxicating aroma, which is believed to carry prayers and blessings to the heavens, while awakening the spirit and bringing people together in community. The roasted beans are then ground by hand using a mortar and pestle, with the rhythmic grinding serving as a meditative focal point that allows guests to reflect on the significance of the marriage and offer silent prayers for the couple's happiness. The ground coffee is brewed in a traditional clay pot called a jabena over burning charcoal, creating a strong, flavourful brew that is served in small handleless cups called sini in 3 rounds with specific names: abol, first round for blessing; tona, second round for transformation; and baraka, third round for spiritual blessing. Each guest must drink all 3 rounds to receive the full spiritual benefit and show proper respect for the ceremony, while sharing conversation, blessings, and wisdom with the newly married couple. This ancient ritual can last several hours, creating an intimate community experience that strengthens bonds between families and ensures the couple begins their marriage surrounded by the love, support, and accumulated wisdom of their extended community. Malay Akad Nikah, Malaysia. The Malay Muslim wedding ceremony, centered around the sacred Akad Nikah, marriage contract, represents a beautiful blend of Islamic religious requirements and traditional Malay cultural practices that honor both spiritual devotion and ancestral heritage while celebrating the union of two families and communities. The ceremony typically takes place in the bride's family home or a mosque, decorated with fresh flowers, colourful fabrics, and traditional Malay ornaments that create an atmosphere of joy and celebration, while maintaining the solemnity appropriate for this sacred religious occasion. The bride, dressed in a stunning baju kurung or kabaya, in vibrant colours with intricate beadwork and gold thread embroidery, often wears a traditional headdress called a tengkolok or mahkota that signifies her status as a bride, while the groom appears in traditional baju Melayu with a songkok, traditional cap, that demonstrates his respect for Malay customs and Islamic practice. The actual akad nikah ceremony involves the groom formally proposing marriage to the bride in the presence of her father or guardian, wali, two male witnesses, and a religious official, imam or qadi, who ensures the ceremony follows Islamic law and pronounces the couple husband and wife when the bride accepts the proposal. This religious contract includes the negotiation and announcement of the mahr, dower, that the groom presents to the bride as a sign of his commitment and her financial security, often consisting of money, jewellery, or other valuable items that become her personal property, regardless of future circumstances. Following the akad nikah, the couple participates in traditional Malay customs, including the bersanding ceremony, where they sit in state on a decorated dais, pelamin, while guests offer congratulations and blessings. The tepung tawar ritual, where rice flour and water are sprinkled over the couple for purification and good luck, and the feeding ceremony, where they feed each other traditional sweets to symbolize their commitment to care for one another throughout their marriage. This celebration often includes traditional Malay music and dance performances, elaborate feasts featuring regional specialties like rendang and ketupat, and the presentation of gifts and money in decorative envelopes that help the couple establish their new household, while demonstrating the community's support for their union. Welsh love spoon tradition, Wales. The Welsh tradition of carved love spoons represents one of the world's most romantic and artistic expressions of courtship and marriage, where skilled woodcarvers create intricate spoons decorated with symbolic motifs that communicate deep feelings and promises between lovers, while demonstrating the craftsman's dedication through countless hours of careful, patient work. This beautiful custom originated in the 17th century when young Welsh men would hand-carve elaborate wooden spoons as tokens of their affection and serious intentions toward the women they hoped to marry, with the complexity and artistry of the carving reflecting both the suitor's skill and the depth of his feelings. Each love spoon tells a unique story through its symbolic decorations. Hearts represent love and affection, chains symbolize togetherness and fidelity, wheels signify the suitor's willingness to work hard for his beloved, keys represent security and the offer of a home, dragons symbolize protection and Welsh heritage, and flowers indicate affection and the hope that love will bloom and flourish. The tradition of presenting a love spoon served multiple practical purposes in Welsh courtship culture, allowing fathers to assess a potential son-in-law's work ethic, artistic ability, and commitment level, while providing young men with a socially acceptable way to express romantic interest without impropriety. Modern Welsh weddings often incorporate love spoon traditions through the exchange of carved spoons during the ceremony, the use of love spoon motifs in wedding decorations, or the presentation of commemorative spoons to honour the couple's Welsh heritage and celebrate their commitment to maintaining cultural traditions. The spoons themselves become family heirlooms passed down through generations, displayed in homes as symbols of enduring love and connection to Welsh ancestry, while inspiring future generations to appreciate the beauty of handcrafted expressions of devotion. Contemporary artisans continue this ancient tradition, creating wedding love spoons that blend classical Welsh symbols with modern designs that reflect individual couples' stories, interests, and dreams for their future together. Mongolian Wedding Exchange, Mongolia. Traditional Mongolian weddings reflect the nomadic heritage and spiritual beliefs of the Mongolian people, through elaborate ceremonies that honor ancestral traditions, demonstrate respect for nature and the eternal blue sky, Tengri, and celebrate the joining of two families within the context of their harsh but beautiful steppe environment. These celebrations typically take place during summer months, when weather permits large gatherings and travel across the vast Mongolian landscape, with extended families converging from great distances to participate in rituals that can last several days and include competitive games, traditional music, and elaborate feasts featuring dairy products and meat from the herds that sustain nomadic life. The bride traditionally wears a stunning deal, traditional robe, made of silk or brocade in bright colours with intricate patterns, often blue or red with gold embroidery, along with an elaborate headdress that varies by region, but typically includes dangling ornaments and precious stones that demonstrate her family's wealth and status within the community. The groom appears in formal deal with traditional accessories, including a distinctive hat and boots, often carrying traditional weapons or symbols of his prowess as a horseman and protector, demonstrating his readiness to assume the responsibilities of married life in the challenging steppe environment. The ceremony includes the exchange of sacred scarves, kadag, between families, the presentation of elaborate gifts including horses, livestock and traditional crafts, and rituals involving kumis, fermented mare's milk, that honour the spiritual significance of horses in Mongolian culture while seeking blessings for fertility and prosperity. Traditional Mongolian weddings often feature competitive events like horse racing, wrestling, and archery that demonstrate the skills necessary for survival and success in nomadic life, while traditional throat singing, horsehead fiddle music, and epic storytelling create an atmosphere of cultural pride and celebration. The ceremony emphasizes the couple's connection to their ancestral heritage, their responsibility to continue traditional ways of life, and their role in maintaining the strength and continuity of their clan or tribal group within the greater Mongolian nation. Hmong wedding traditions, Hmong culture. Hmong wedding ceremonies represent elaborate multi-day celebrations that honour the complex kinship systems, spiritual beliefs, and cultural traditions of the Hmong people, while facilitating the formal transfer of the bride from her birth clan to her husband's clan through rituals that ensure proper spiritual protection and community support. These intricate ceremonies typically span 3 days and include numerous rituals that must be performed correctly to ensure the couple's happiness and prosperity, with specific protocols governing everything from the negotiation of bride price to the proper dress and behaviour of all participants, according to traditional Hmong customs passed down through oral tradition. The bride wears stunning traditional clothing including an elaborately embroidered jacket, pleated skirt and silver jewellery that demonstrates her family's status while representing hours of skilled needlework by female relatives who pass down these artistic traditions through generations of mothers and daughters. The groom and his family participate in formal processions and gift exchanges that demonstrate their respect for the bride's family and their ability to provide for their new daughter-in-law, including the presentation of livestock, money, and other valuable items that compensate the bride's family for raising and educating their daughter. Central to Hmong weddings is the Yuenib ceremony, conducted by spiritual practitioners who ensure that ancestral spirits approve of the union, and that proper rituals protect the couple from harmful influences while guiding them safely through this major life transition that affects not only the couple, but their entire extended families and clans. The celebrations include traditional Hmong music played on ancient instruments, elaborate feasts featuring traditional foods prepared according to specific cultural requirements, and dancing that can continue for days, while strengthening bonds between families and communities. These weddings serve crucial functions in maintaining Hmong cultural identity, especially for diaspora communities who use these ceremonies to teach younger generations about their heritage while adapting ancient traditions to modern circumstances in countries far from their ancestral homeland in the mountains of Southeast Asia. Lebanese Zaf Procession, Lebanon. The Lebanese Zaf represents one of the most spectacular and joyful wedding processions in Middle Eastern culture, featuring elaborate parades with traditional music, dancing, and celebration that announce the couple's marriage to their entire community, while honouring Lebanese heritage through ancient customs that connect modern couples to their ancestral traditions. This magnificent procession typically begins at the bride's family home and continues to the wedding venue, with professional musicians playing traditional Lebanese instruments including the oud, tabla drums, and mijwiz, reed pipe, while dancers perform energetic folk dances that create an atmosphere of pure celebration and community joy. The bride, dressed in a stunning white gown, often complemented by traditional Lebanese jewellery and accessories, may also wear elements of traditional costume, including elaborately embroidered fabrics and gold ornaments that reflect her family's regional origins and cultural heritage within Lebanon's diverse religious and ethnic communities. The groom typically appears in formal attire, but may incorporate traditional elements like a tarbouch, traditional hat, or other cultural accessories, while both families dress in their finest clothing to honour the significance of the occasion and demonstrate their pride in their Lebanese identity. The Zaf procession includes professional dancers who perform traditional Debke line dances, sword dances, and other folk performances that require skill and training, while creating spectacular visual entertainment for the couple and their guests as they process through streets or wedding venues. Modern Lebanese weddings often adapt the Zaf tradition to different settings and circumstances, with some couples incorporating elements like belly dancers, fire performers, or contemporary music while maintaining the essential spirit of celebration and cultural pride that makes this tradition so meaningful. The procession serves multiple purposes beyond entertainment, formally announcing the marriage to the community, demonstrating the family's joy and pride in the union, and creating shared memories that connect the couple to their Lebanese heritage while celebrating their new life together within the broader context of their cultural community. And so our journey through love's many celebrations comes to a gentle close. From ancient vows to modern promises, these beautiful traditions remind us that love truly is the universal language that connects us all. Rest now in the warmth of these timeless ceremonies, and may your dreams be filled with joy, unity, and endless love. Sleep well,